more on the Gators. We bring in our Florida insider, Chris Harry. And Chris, it was Kentucky who put up 450 yards of offense against this Gators defense. Granted, there was a lot of extra football. So how will they fare in trying to defend the 9th best team offensively in the country in Alabama?
Well, in talking to Will Muschamp today, guys, basically there were some blown coverages in that game. And going into this season, this Florida defensive staff kind of expected those kind of things would happen. They had some inexperienced guys back there in the secondary. Now, these were mistakes, I would say, of indecisiveness, not talent. They're correctable mistakes, and they're going to need to be corrected going to Alabama. The one positive I think Florida can take away from this defensively, they've forced 8 turnovers so far in 2 games. They forced 13 all last season. You're certainly going to need to flip the field when you go to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, if you expect to, keep up with the Tide.
Still not 100% sold that Alabama can stop anyone from throwing a forward pass. That secondary a little bit suspect. DeMarcus Robinson had a great game against Kentucky. Obviously, they're going to game plan for him now. Is he the real deal? Was that really a breakout game? Is this going to be him for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, the last Gator to catch 15 passes in a game was Carlos Alvarez in 1969. I mean, Robinson was a talented, underachieving freshman last year, caught 5 passes. He was suspended twice. He entered this season suspended for the first game. He's got 21 catches, 339 yards, and 3 touchdowns thus far. He's big, he's rangy, he's fast, and he goes up and he chases the ball. You guys showed that touchdown at the beginning of the show where he brought that 9-yard touchdown in overtime. I mean, if he doesn't catch that 4th down play against Kentucky in the first overtime, the narrative we're having right now as far as Florida going to Alabama is much, much different.
Chris, Mac Jones and Kelvin Taylor have been pacing that Florida ground attack. Are they the key to winning the game? They have to really run the ball to beat Alabama? Yeah,
I mean, you have to run the ball to beat Alabama. 2 years ago, Florida went to Texas A&M and won. They went to Florida State and won because Will Muschamp was running the football. These guys can run. I mean, Matt Jones is a tough inside guy, 235 pounds, 6'2½". Kelvin Taylor is your shifty guy, but he can get some tough inside yards also. But I tell you what, don't discount Jeff Driscoll. He hasn't taken off the ball. He hasn't taken off very much from the quarterback position, but he's certainly capable of doing that, as he did a couple years ago when the Gators averaged 180 yards rushing. He may have to do that a little bit in Tuscaloosa this week if the Gators are going to compete with the Tide.
I think this goes as a can't-miss game coming up this weekend.
Alabama. They're not going to run on Alabama. It's coming to Driscoll show.
Chris Harry, thanks as always. We appreciate it.